So I hear sometimes that I am a very strong person, or like, I wish I was as strong as you. And I couldn't figure out why that kind of bothers me. And then I realized it's because strength is a choice. And what the heck does that even mean, right? Like, here it is. I love using analogies, especially with like exercise, and this works beautifully with exercise. So, if you start weightlifting, like back in my day, I started with 5s and 8s and 10s pound dumbbells, and for me that was really sufficient. Like I had it challenged me. And I started with P90X, and it was my first time weight training. I knew nothing about weight training and form or like the physical, chemical, biological reactions that happen due to lifting weights and doing resistance training. I didn't know any of that shit. I just knew that I wanted to look better in smaller jeans and stuff, and I wanted to be strong. I didn't even want to be strong. I just wanted to look good. So that was back in the day, Courtney, right? I did not know. I didn't know what I didn't know. And I got started and with a good trainer who was skilled and proficient and had done this with many other people and had gotten results with them, and had a history in teaching people how to lift weights. And as I worked through the 90-day program, I ended up needing to upgrade. I got 15 pounders. And as I was progressing, I ended up getting 20 pounders. And I had really discovered that I loved weight training. And it's growing since then. It's to the point where I actually got Select Tech dumbbells so that I can really, and they go all the way up to 52.5 pounds each. Gotten through a lot of different trainers and have learned that functional weightlift training and workouts and stuff are just my jam, because that's what actually leads to a good, high quality longevity of life. What does this have to do with strength? Because that's just another muscle that you have to work, and you can't get better at anything if you're not actively working on it. The think about it program has never been sufficient in anything. Like, the think about it. And trust me, I am like the queen of planning and thinking about shit. Like, I will think the fuck out of something and just plan and for every single angle, and then not actually do the damn thing, right? Like, because there's safety in the planning, and there's safety in the comparing yourself to other people. There's safety in not moving forward because change is scary, and the unknown is scary. Even if it's something that is good for you, it's different, and it therefore is scary. And when our brains signify something as different, it helps us to stay safe, to stay away from those changes and making those things happen. So that is what I mean when I say strength is a choice. It's all about flexing that muscle and working that muscle and making it stronger and stronger, so that you continue to grow. So getting outside of your own thought processes and expanding your perspective are key ingredients to helping with this. And one of the big things is getting out of your own damn head. Because let me tell you, the biggest critic that most of us have to deal with on the daily is our own damn selves. It's our own damn selves. If you are negative self-talking all the damn time, that is like the biggest weight holding you back from going forward. You are dragging your own self down. And trust me, I know that feeling. I have been my own worst critic. I still, that mean girl is in the back of my head. And learning to not separate myself from her, that is part of me. and realizing that that is part of my brain that's just trying to keep me safe, and learning to strengthen the other parts of my brain that actually will help me grow and be happier with life and find joy and not be stuck. That is where the key is, and that is why it's a choice. So first of all, noticing, you just being a good watcher. Be a good watcher of your thoughts. And then second, learn to challenge those thoughts. And third, start proving those thoughts wrong and looking for, and fourth, look for evidence that there's something else. There's another story. Look for the evidence, because when you start looking for the evidence of the good stuff, you'll start seeing it. But if you're always talking about the bad shit and what you don't want, that's what you're going to see. So those are my 4 key steps in flexing your own strength muscle. It is your choice. It is something you get to choose every day. And just because you have an off day or a bad week or a bad month or a bad year doesn't mean you can't choose again, because that's the beauty of this human life. Every second we have that option to choose again. It's amazing, and that is something to be grateful for. I tell you, to constantly be able to have that. So be humble and be able to say I am wrong, or I could have done that better, and say I am willing to try, I am willing to do that better, I am willing to learn better ways of doing that. And I'm not talking about just like talking some nice talk and some positive words too. You know, it has to be real. It has to be authentic from your heart. You need to have that good intention in that. But trust me, the biggest thing is consistency. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You have the thought, you do some action for it, you search for the evidence that this is a good thing and that there's other good things that can come with that, and stop talking yourself down. That is the end of my talk here. Oh, and number 5. A lot of the times it's very, very difficult for us to, trust me, I personally developed like crazy, read all the books, and it was like all feel good, warm and fuzzies and stuff, right? But this is where it's key. I went to counseling. I've gotten my cognitive behavioral therapy certificate, Reiki certified. I've gone to Reiki sessions for myself, and then I took a big dive and I actually hired a coach to help me work through my own shit, because trust me, you can only self-do anything for so long. We are not meant to be one man and women machines. We are meant to be in a community. We are meant to work with other people. It's just make sure that who you're letting in is for you, so that you're not poking holes in your own ship, you know what I'm saying, and letting it sink. You want good people on your crew. So number 5, find somebody that's a few steps ahead of you. They don't need to be some wham-a-dime awesome like Tony Robbins motherfucker. Somebody that's just a few steps ahead of you. In fact, that is how it should always be. You're a few steps ahead of somebody else, yo. You could help people get to where your landing spot is, while you are working with somebody that's a few steps ahead of you, and they're helping you get to their landing spot, and so on and so forth. That is the beauty of community. That's what I love calling my my business Doyen Pride, because Doyen is a woman the most predominant in her field, and we all got something to bring to the table, and a pride. And I'm not talking like, oh, I'm proud of myself. Like, I'm talking like a community, like a family, where we all help each other out. It takes a strong pride to raise strong cubs, because I'm looking at how there's all this personal growth that I'm going through now in my 40s, and realizing that I'm able to share this with my children who are in their early 20s, and one's going to be 18 soon. And I'm like, had I had this exposure to this shit in my early 20s, imagine where I'd be right now. So it is amazing that I'm able to pass this on, and hopefully my grandkids will even be able to catch on to it even sooner. You know what I'm saying? So it's never too late to start, and you just start where you're at. You don't need to compare yourself to anybody freaking else. It don't matter. And what matters is where you are, and you compare to yourself to where you are today from yesterday, where you're going. And there's so much more to it, but that would take like a webinar or something. And I am done talking. Thanks for listening.